Hello, beauties. Welcome to Moms Unboxed, a podcast where I unbox with you the how to's, tips, and tricks to empower women to upgrade relationships, intimacy, and parenting. I'm your host, Melanie Caroline, a multidimensional woman, life coach, lover, and mom who's made a lot of fucking mistakes. If you want to live a sensual and liberated life, you've come to the right space. Don't forget to follow Moms Unboxed because you don't want to miss an episode.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Moms Unboxed. Thank you so much for being here with me for another week. What the hell are we unboxing this week? This was a hot topic, y'all. This week, we're unboxing 5 signs you're headed for a breakup. Now, don't get me wrong, we will talk about how to salvage the relationship in another episode. We're unboxing these 5 signs, but please ensure that you're contemplating these signs and don't go back to your partner and say, Melanie Caroline said that we're headed for a breakup because we're doing A, B, and C. No. This is not what that's about. This is to provide awareness and say, hey, mama, you might be headed down this path if you're not mindful, if you're not making a change in your relationship. So this is all about you contemplating and deciding, does this count towards your relationship? Is this about you? Is this a sign that you are aware of? Maybe you're not aware of this. And perhaps there needs to be a change in the relationship so that you can have a healthy and thriving relationship. So let's get to unboxing, shall we? Number 1, unhealthy communication. This is huge. Okay, I gotta tell you, this is number 1 for a reason, okay? Number 2 is nearly number 1, but unhealthy communication is number 1 for a reason, because if you cannot communicate with your partner, what the hell are you doing? You have to be able to have healthy communication so that you can work through any barriers or walls or problems that arise in your relationship. And you want to be able to communicate the good shit too. You want to tell your partner about your desires, wants, your needs, things that you're wanting to explore. Now, what does unhealthy communication really look like? It's interrupting each other. It's when you do present a problem and you want to go to your partner and express yourself and they're interrupting you. That's a problem, because then you're going to start feeling shut down. You're going to not feel heard, and then you're not going to want to communicate at all. And then what happens? It just boils down from there, right? You start holding that shit in, you brush things under the carpet, nothing gets addressed, and then resentment builds, bitterness builds, all the things that contribute towards a breakup starts happening when you can't communicate. So gaslighting your partner, making them the problem, not being able to take accountability. That's a fucking problem. You cannot gaslight your partner into them believing that they're the problem, because sometimes it is about both partners creating an issue, and it takes both partners to resolve an issue, to bridge a gap. So if you're shifting blame, they come to you saying, hey, you doing this made me feel this way. Is there a way we can resolve this? And then you say, no, I didn't do anything. No, that was in your mind. I didn't do that. That was you because you did this, this, and this. Like, hold up, hold it down. What are we talking about here? And then when you start interrupting each other, gaslighting each other, shifting blame, yelling, being critical, what happens is that y'all just start fighting. And then you think, oh, how is this affecting the kids? The kids now can hear us fighting. They know that we're struggling, we're having issues. The energy in this communication realm is shitty. We're being mean to each other. We're not being compassionate. We're not being kind. We are literally pissing on each other. That is not what's going to create and build a very healthy relationship that you deserve, that your children deserve. So 5 signs you're headed to a breakup. Number 1, unhealthy communication. So start assessing your communication with your partner and with your children, because I know we're not going to break up with our children, but having unhealthy communication towards our children is also a problem. It's also going to lead to them not feeling safe and secure to express things to you. Number 2 is dishonesty and broken trust. Then, like I said, communication and dishonesty and broken trust were hand in hand for the number one reason why people are leading to a breakup. And for me, I fucking can't stand a liar. I don't know about you, but I do not tolerate lying. And I have made this very clear in my own relationship at the very beginning. And I continue to make that very clear. I don't need to now because I trust my partner that he's not going to lie to me, that he's going to be honest, even if it hurts my feelings. And sometimes that's the case is how honest do you want your partner to be? Now, I'll give you an example because I am in an open relationship and we do talk about these things where my partner would use the words absolutely. I absolutely want to get to know more people. I absolutely want to have sex with more people. And that absolutely word became triggering for me. And so, not that I'm asking him to be dishonest, but I'm saying to him, I don't need all the deep. You don't have to tell me how fascinating this woman was when that ever does happen. It hasn't happened yet. But there are certain things that I just don't need to know. Not that he's being dishonest. I know he's out doing his thing. Okay. But I don't need to be triggered with the absolutely word. So you're going to find things in your relationship that are triggering to you. Now, can you be honest and open with them to have a conversation about what language they might be using or behaviors that they might be displaying that is triggering for you?
Being honest to your partner about what is triggering you is creating trust in your relationship. You being able to acknowledge what's happening in your body when they do something specific prevents an argument because you're able to have a clear, calm conversation.
How can you build and sustain that trust? And part of it is taking accountability when your partner makes a mistake, where they do find themselves have been dishonest about something, coming to you and being forward about it right away is going to build that trust. What's going to erode the trust is they didn't say shit about it. And then you find out about it a week later and you're like, well, I saw this on your account statement. Why were you at this hotel? Or what did you buy at this lingerie store? I don't understand what's happening. Or who's that phone call that you're trying to, be away from me for? Like, who you texting? And if they can't be honest and truthful and upfront, then our mind is going to be like, oh, something shady is happening. Because if you already if you already have trust issues, you're going to look for evidence within your life that shows there's a breakdown in trust and there's some dishonesty happening, even though that might not be the case. But it is all about how it's portrayed, right? So if our partner is sneaky or they're coming home extra late, they're getting home 45 minutes later than they usually do, you're like, what is happening? And they have to be upfront and truthful about it at the beginning. At the beginning, not a week, 2 weeks later, because that erodes the trust. They're not going to understand, well, like, what's your problem? Like, what do you mean, what's my problem? You've been coming home late for 30 minutes. Like, have you guys ever listened to How to Catch a Cheater? It's on a Washington State radio show. But these are legit signs that people look for when they think that their partner is cheating. They're coming home late. They're not being honest. They change the password on their phone. They're lying. They're just eroding the trust, right? And so we have to be able to be honest and open with our partner. And that starts with having good communication. That starts with us being a safe place to go to have them express themselves. If they try to come to us with their feelings, with their emotions, and we are gaslighting them, we are shifting blame, we are yelling, we are being critical, they're not going to approach us. Even if they are being dishonest, they're going to continue to lie. Why? Because what good is it to be honest anyways? I'm just going to get yelled at. That is not the type of foundation we want to be building in our relationships. We want to be building a foundation of security, safety, honesty, trust, of good communication. Okay. So number 3 is unaligned values. Now, this is a big one because you could be starting to date someone and everything's going good. And you start getting to know each other a bit more and a bit more. And you notice that your values don't align. Like you can't get on the same page about whether or not honesty should be a value in a relationship. If you have values that are that misaligned, like, girl, let me save you some time. It's time to separate from that person because those should be values, key values in a relationship. Like if your partner cannot communicate in a healthy way, girlfriend, get the fuck out. If your partner can be honest and trustworthy, get the fuck out. Okay. If you value physical touch, you value your partner being present and not on their phone all the time, and they're always on the phone and they're never present, girl, get the fuck out. Okay. There are certain things within our relationships that should be a fuck no and a fuck yes. Like, yes, this is what I need in a relationship. And if you can't match me there, I'm sorry, this isn't going to work out for me. And too many times, women stay in relationships that are not healthy for them. They prolong the breakup. Why? Because we fear being alone. We think that we can't do it by ourselves because we need a man, because we need support, because we're comfortable, because this is the shit we're used to. So it's nothing different. Like, fuck that energy. Like, go away with it. You deserve better. You deserve a man who absolutely fits and is in alignment with your values, morals, and your needs. And sure, there might be disagreements, but can you bridge the gap? And in order to bridge the gap, you have to be able to communicate it. You have to be able to communicate, hey, this is where I need to be met. I see that you're quite not meeting me there. Is there a way that we can fix this? And that person, including you, needs to be able to meet them where they're at in order to sustain a relationship. Okay. Woo! I'm on a roll today. Okay, that was 1, 2, and 3. 1, unhealthy communication. 2, dishonesty and broken trust. 3, unaligned values. Number 4 is loss of interest or shift in energy. If you notice that your partner is not meeting you where you need to be met and they're off doing their own thing, like, let me just say first, individuality in a relationship should be a value of yours. But if they're legit just not like meeting you at all and you are expressing yourself, you are asking, hey, can we go on a date? Hey, can you come cuddle? Hey, can you watch a movie with me? And they have no interest at all, girl, that is a sign that you are headed for a breakup. If they're not showing you that love that you need, you're headed for a breakup. And I understand that might be a hard pill to swallow, but if you have expressed yourself and you sound like a broken ass record, please assess the relationship. Is that something that you can live with? Can you live with someone who has had a loss of interest and a shift of energy for you? And if they have had a shift of energy for you, why are you staying anyways? Like, what is in it for you? Is it healthy? Is it wholesome? Just take an assessment. If they're checked out, girl, you need to move forward because you are fun. You are flirty and loving and spontaneous, and you are a great mother. You're a great woman. You need to find someone who respects that and appreciates that. Number 5, change behaviors. If your partner at the beginning was all about calling you sweetie or darling or even by your name, and that was your thing, and the next thing you know, they're coming at you with babe, hey babe, what's up? How you doing? Or they're changing their phone code. They used to be able to just, hey, can I borrow your phone? And they just be able to give it to you freely. And now they're acting all secretive and shady. Okay, that's a sign something's going on. They're canceling plans with you to do other things. Something's going on. They're coming home an hour later than they used to. They're missing dinner. Something's going on. I don't teach you these signs to discourage you, but rather provide knowledge so that you can choose what you need to do for your relationship, so that you can stay informed and understand what direction you need to choose for yourself. Because like I said, many women stay stuck in these relationships that they don't need to be stuck in. Have the self-leadership and lead yourself to something better. And sometimes, yes, that means breaking up with someone. Because if it's not working, it's not working. And if you've tried to communicate, girlfriend, you can try therapy. That might work. Or relationship coach. That might work. But you have to be able to both at the same time willing to work towards having a better relationship. If one's working towards having a relationship and the other one's not, you're not in sync. You're one's trying, one's not. You got to get on the same page. You both have to try at the same time and want to try at the same time. Because that was the breakdown in my marriage, is like one would try, one wouldn't, one would try, one wouldn't. And the next thing you know, it was not, we weren't winning. We were not on the same page. And sometimes that's part of it, is you have to admit to yourself when the relationship is over. And that's part of the hardest steps of going through a breakup, is admitting there's nothing left for you to keep you in this relationship. And that's one of the hardest decisions that you're going to make, because it is life altering. It is a change. But you have the strength and wisdom within yourself to choose better for you and your babies. Don't stay in a relationship for the kids. That shit does not work. It actually becomes more detrimental to the children, because you're staying together, but then nothing has changed. You're still fighting. You're still arguing. You're still canceling on each other. You're still acting shady. There's still cold energy. Children pick up on that. Let me tell you, children pick up on that. What kind of model do you want to be for your children? Do you want to model that type of relationship for your children? Or do you want to model, hey, even though I might be single, I'm still going to be a bomb-ass mom, and I'm going to show you what that's like. And then if mom ever does fall in love again, I'm going to show you what a healthy relationship looks like. And you can even tell them what a healthy relationship looks like, or what kind of man or woman you want your children to attract and how they should be treated. And that first starts with you loving you and choosing what is best for your life and what is best for your situation. You don't need to settle. Right now, I feel like there's an all-time high, at least on my Facebook groups, of women leaving their partner because they're not happy, because they're being manipulated, because they're being gaslit, because they're being controlled. And women are rising. We're saying, no, we deserve better. Even if it's on our own, I can raise these babies on my own. It's okay. I got this. I can do this. Now, if you have a partner who is splitting up with you, but they're a good dad, let them be a good dad. Don't take your anger out on them, because it affects your child. Keep that shit separate. Your relationship is your relationship with your partner, and your relationship with your partner as a father is different. Let them be a good father. Let them see the children, because it's going to help you out, and it's really going to help your children out. That does not have to suffer because you two couldn't get along as a romantic relationship. So think about that. Think about where it is in your relationship that's not working. Can you communicate with your partner? Can you bridge the gap? Can you realign your values? Can you realign what's important to both of you and come together? Can you rebuild that trust? What does that look like? And if you decide today that, yeah, your relationship's not working, not creating happiness or joy, not rooted in a place of love, but there's still a good parent for your child, let them be the good parent. Don't take out your bullshit on them as a parent. All right, ladies, that was it for today. The 5 signs you're headed for a breakup. Join me on Moms Unboxed Facebook group for more how-tos, tips, and tricks on relationships, intimacy, and parenting. I hope that you have a beautiful week, and don't forget to live a liberated, sensual, and unboxed life. Until the next time, sunshine.
Thank you again for joining me for another episode of Moms Unboxed. If you have a topic or relationship question, connect with me at I am Melanie Caroline. And don't forget to follow Moms Unboxed. May you live a liberated, sensual, and unboxed life. Until the next time, sunshine.